Talo Palava, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Waves. I hope that you and your family have been having an amazing start to your week and that everything is going well. On today's episode, very special guest, the founding and honorary member of Bluwave, our big boss, Master Chief, CEO, Anae, is joining us today on Breaking Waves. This is a bit different. I'm very glad that he's here because we're going to talk a lot of business today. So if you're in business, you have friends who are in business, or if you even want to get started in business, thank you for joining us today. We're going to be talking a lot about its challenges and how to culturally integrate our Samoanness into our business. Okay, good morning and welcome to Breaking Waves. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Hana, for having me on Breaking Waves. Yeah, fatalo fatu fo ile pa yema maludo mai moa. Po fa pena mata meni tu la leso, fe la vali tu kolopelo e moa meni fa salonga. Want to say hi to everybody who's tuning in. Thank you for taking the time to tune in to Breaking Waves.
Thank you so much for coming on this morning, Manu. How has business been for you this year? 2025, how has business been?
I remember we had a video, similar video with, I think it was yourself and Karl and me towards the end of last year. We were talking about 2024, yep. 2023, 2023, 2024. It's May now. I don't know what time this episode will air, but it's 2025. It's slowly coming out of the trenches, but we're still in there. Like yeah. It's a bit of a change from 2024, but we're fighting our way back up. So the answer to your question, how are we doing this year? We're doing okay.
Yeah.
We're just literally nose above water.
I've been with Bluwave like going on to 5 years now. And I remember when I first joined, we had, Labour was in government.
Yes.
And we had a lot of gigs. We had a lot of work and just different gigs with government bodies, and now it's changed with the national government, even with the state of the economy, and our businesses has had to pivot a bit. Hey, we're now focused on our shows. Tell us a bit about that.
In 2019, when we first officially started as a registered company, we had a lot of Pacific gigs. We had a lot of Pacific work. A lot of the Pacific businesses that were also starting at the time, they were getting opportunities that were, that doesn't normally happen, and they were thriving as well. So when the new government came into place, they had their own focus, they had their own priorities, and Pacific wasn't so much. So we lost out. And in losing out, we had to start thinking outside the box. We had to start thinking outside our comfort zone of what we do for a living. Like we were heavily involved in production. But in hindsight of that, it allowed us to focus more on the podcast. Because if you look at the growth of Bluwave TV, the minute we left the production side of the business and we started putting all of that immense focus
Yes.
onto the different podcasts, Tota Iae, Breaking Waves, Sports Talanoa, it started to climb. And
I'm just gonna, interrupt, because I don't think people understand that about our company. When we started these programs, we were juggling so many different things at different times. So there was never really a time where we invested all of us into the shows, where we were like, okay, our main focus is shows. We had to juggle meeting salaries and everything like that. So now we're finally at a point where we've put a lot of our resources focused on your shows.
Hana, the focus of Bluwave TV back then was to air the production that we did for the different businesses, the different ministries that we were doing. We created Bluwave TV so we can just put all of what we were filming for other people. We never really focused on what belonged to us.
Yeah.
And there were times where Tota Iae, we had to like cancel it. We had to ask Asiaka to come and help us with the production stuff. Even your program, a lot of the stuff was put on a back burner so we can accommodate and also achieve the goal that we needed with the production. Now, when we talk production, we're talking about the filming of
live streaming, photography, videography.
Yeah, for the different clients. It was Bluwave TV that suffered a lot because it wasn't our primary business. We were focused on delivering projects. But in the hindsight of all of that from 2024 and the economy, we've put so much focus onto the Bluwave TV, and now it is where it is. We're talking about 11 million views quarterly. We're talking about the most watched platform for Samoan and Pacific content, and I'm not saying this in a mimika or an arrogant or showing off kind of way, but I'm saying that this is what happens when you put focus onto something. So yeah, it's come with a price though, but it's slowly getting there.
Yeah, definitely come with a price, but we're kind of seeing the fruits of it grow. I mean, we're going to America soon, which is crazy. I would have never thought. I mean, thank you to our team, like Tota Iae, Sports Talanoa as well, and the connections they made in America. But tell me about how you're feeling about this trip and its preparation, because I know you've probably been getting a lot of anxiety over it. It's huge. Like our whole team is going. Tell us about it.
So the initial idea of the trip came last year, and it was a time where we were like at a financial low. Like we were like literally living paycheck to paycheck. And, Asheta was already traveling. And then I was thinking, okay, it's time for us to think outside the box. Because like if you leave New Zealand, like New Zealand is such a small place, but if you go hunting for work out overseas, like you're bound to get something. Probably 1 or 2 out of 10, you'll get a response back. I didn't expect the response to be of this, because we initially looked at just one state, and that was just LA. When we first had the initial discussion with Asiata, it was just LA. But what happened was when Asiata was traveling around the States, people not only wanted to see him, but they wanted to see Bluwave TV. They wanted to have that same quality that they watch from Monday to Friday from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. in America. And they also wanted to be on your show, on Breaking Waves. They also wanted to watch live, like to literally go into a building and watch the whole entire thing unravel in front of them. So we started planning from then, and then we started fundraising because it's not cheap to go to America. And, I must say this though. When we did the first fundraising and we saw the amount of people that turned up, I honestly didn't think anyone would, I was like second guessing myself. I was going, oh man, I hope like 10 or 20 people turn up.
Yeah.
But when the day started,
Crazy.
the line that, the people, the audience, they came, I was so humbled by it.
Yeah. I think we had our first customer at 9:45 a.m., our first barbecue.
Yeah.
So people were coming out, the line went all the way out as well. And our second barbecue, they came and supported. So we have a really supportive and loving community.
People came to offer their help. People came and offer their equipment, facilities.
Even gifts. Giving
Like, the first barbecue, there was 500 plates. People kept coming. We ran out of food, but they kept coming. And then the second barbecue, we decided, okay, let's go up to 1,000. That finished, and people still came. And it showed the unwavering support from our people, from our audience members. Like today, a man named Okuso, he came to buy a book, but he also wanted to thank me and also thank the Bluwave TV team. He says that Bluwave TV makes him happy. And it's the only program that him and his wife watch before they can go anywhere. And they when they go late to functions or they go late to family events, and the family members are asking, how come it took you guys so long to get here? And then the other cousins would say, oh, they probably had to wait until Toteae was finished.
I've been seeing the TikToks as well.
Yeah. And that's the effects of the show. I take my hat off as well to Asiata.
Yeah.
Like his hard work and his delivery. It's like second to none. Like, he's an orator. And the way he can hold the numbers and hold the crowd, that's a gift from God.
Yeah.
Like, you can't make that. You can't learn that. It's like a natural given gift. And it's his influence as well on the program that's really paved the way for Bluwave TV as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's doing so well, and you're right, he has a talent. And like I said, I saw the TikToks of, youth filming their parents saying no one, Samoan parents just smiling at the TV and looking at Asiaka and Godfather and Sauni on TV. So I'm just like, I think I'm very privileged to be in a position to witness this.
Well, I got to see you sign people's clothes.
Yeah, that was crazy. But like the best part for me is when I see stuff like that, like people's parents are happy watching, Asiaka in our show. It's been a blessing to be a part of it. So we've had a lot of support from, overseas, globally, from parents who love these shows, and it's really a reflection of the teamwork at Bluwave, which is what I wanted to ask you. What are kind of some like the challenges you're facing as a leader in our company, and how are you dealing with it?
The teamwork in Bluwave really makes the dream work. As much as like Asiata and Leatawa and Sauni and yourself are in front of the camera, you got boys like Karl, Misa, Ryan, sometimes Daisy that are in the background, myself included. Like making sure that everything is quality, the audio is perfect, and the information that is being sorted goes through our lawyers. Like providing the best show is one of the things that we always talk about. Like even in the meetings, like shows that are useful to people, that creates the capacity, like broadens the horizon. Like those are the shows that are very important. In terms of leadership, some of the difficulties that I have with Bluwave, leadership is different. It's not your normal 9 to 5.
Yeah.
It's not construction. It's not any other job. It's production, and making sure that we have a tight team, a team that works on deadlines, that's able to deliver on deadlines, a team that's able to work together, a team that's able to gel well, and which I believe we have right now. Asiata and Misa, they understand each other. Asiata and Ryan, they understand each other, just like yourself with Karl and Ryan as well. Like once you have that flow, like the only thing you have to worry about is your job. My job is to oversee that, to make sure that that algorithm still maintains. And how's that done? Through administration, through sales, making sure that you guys get paid, and also making sure that there's more opportunities for us as a company to come.
Hey, have you signed up with BlueNet yet? No? Well, let's fix that. Head over to www.bluenet.co.nz and hit Join Us today. All you need to do is fill in your name, date of birth, phone number, and a few other details. This helps us get you set up faster. We'll also need a photo of your ONT serial number and your modem. Not sure what an ONT is? Don't worry, this is what it looks like, and every house with internet has one. And make sure you have a valid ID and a utility bill or government letter to confirm your address. When you join BlueNet, you're not just getting fast, stable internet. You're also supporting shows like Tautaiae, Breaking Waves, and Sports Talanoa. Your BlueNet subscription helps us bring you more content. If you sign up this month, you get $10 off your first 3 months. If you have any questions, call 0800 258 638. Join BlueNet today. Talofa Lava, Tasi Market is here at the Maire Town Centre, the heart of South Auckland.
SMI.
There's a lot of different talk right now about indigenizing systems, and this comes under the umbrella of decolonization, so finding ways to do things our way. And I think Bluwave, honestly, is a really good example of a company that indigenizes its systems, meaning we just do things the Samoan way. Could you share some examples with how we incorporate Samoan culture as a company?
Well,
yeah.
We live it every day. The Samoa and the Pacific culture is very, very well alive in Bluwave. We talk it, we speak it, we act it, we enact it. We do Five Levers. We cater to the Samoan community when they come to us for help. We cater to our individual families when it's time to pick up the ko'oko and the fui and make our way there to show our respect. We cater to it through our program. Tautaiae. That whole thing is in Samoa.
Yeah. Exactly.
Sports Talanoa. I was put on a spot for the first time. That was the first time I was in front of the camera for such a long time, and I had to speak 100% formal Samoan. And it was probably one of the nerve-wracking things, because when you address the viewers, the audience, you have to address them formally, and before you can talk about anything else. So the answer to your question, how do we apply the Samoa in our work? We live it. We practice. It's the application and applying it to our work.
Yeah, and I think one of the things I like most about Bluwave is, not saying we're perfect, but is the love that we show to each other and understanding that we show for each other. Honestly, I don't think I could, if I was in like a normal corporate company, there's a lot of things I wouldn't have gotten away with. We understand from that level. I think that's what I've appreciated most, is understanding people and their situations. Because sometimes this capitalist system often forgets that people are humans at the end of the day.
I mean, the capital system could be so intense and also unforgiving.
Yeah.
But if anything, Bluwave as well is not perfect.
Yeah.
Far from perfect. We're flawed in so many ways, but we try.
Yeah.
You know, it's an everyday trying. It's an everyday learning too. Like we learn things on the go. We learn things that we didn't know before.
Yeah.
But it helps build us to become more stronger, more aware, more knowing, right, with the capacity building of learning that. But, you know, it makes us more present in our community. I mean, every day we get a Samoan elder, we get Samoan Matai, we get a group of Samoans coming up that door, if not Pacific as well. You know, that's how you know that our messages are reaching out to the masses. This phone rings every day all the way till 12 at night.
Yeah.
So we have a service to our community. We have a tautua to our community. Just like what I said about the one of the fans, the 75-year-old man, August Augusto, who came through. He said that he doesn't sleep until he's finished watching Toteiai. You know, to have him come all the way from out west to come here just to say that, you know,
that's crazy.
These people, they wait on the program.
Yeah.
So it's our duty to not only produce it, but to, you know, to also be responsible for what we say on the program, and to also maintain the show's credibility.
Do you think that, you know, because you're a very charitable person, you're a very caring and understanding person, a lot of people will believe that that won't make you any money or that won't sustain you? That's not a good way to approach business because, you know, what are your thoughts about that type of mentality?
Well, I choose to be. I mean, I've experienced bosses who are like complete assholes. Can you beep that? I've experienced workplaces that was just toxic. I can be an asshole if I want to. I can be mean if I want to, but I choose not to because that requires so much energy that can be put into. So instead of yelling at someone or screaming at that person, like what I would normally do is like I'll hear them, and then I try to take into mind what they're saying, and then try to apply what I want, and then come out with a solution. No one's perfect.
Yeah.
You know, I sometimes learn from you, learn from Karl, learn from Ryan, learn from Asiata. That free flow of talk allows me to become better, allows the company to grow further, because we have each other's back. But when it comes to the leadership, bro, there are times where I'm just, it's either I stay in that room or I work from home so that I'm not distracted. Like those are the times where I get down on business. But leadership, bro, I don't know. Yeah. I think people are different. Companies are different too.
See, I'm trying to bring things that people don't really see to the forefront during this talanoa. And another one I see is how you are now host for Sports Talanoa. So, I think if you're a business owner, you understand that you have just many different hats. But you've gone on as a host for Sports Talanoa, which is exciting because I know you like sports as well, and it's given you an opportunity to submerge yourself with the old boys and get your Samoa up and going, and improving that better. Tell us about that journey.
It was so uncomfortable. I remember because Asiata was in the States.
Yeah.
And then To'o and Andy were here. And then I said to them, well, good luck with the show. And then Andy goes, no, whoa. We can't do the show without someone asking us questions.
Yeah.
And I was thinking of you. And goes, well, because you weren't here. I said, oh, who's going to ask you questions? And then Andy was saying, well, you are. I was like, if the show was in English, I would have said, yeah, let's do it. But then knowing that the boys speak Samoan, and not only just speak everyday Samoan, they go heavy at times. When I say heavy, I'm talking formal.
Yeah.
So they protested with me. There won't be a show if I don't sit down and do the show with them. And luckily, because I normally wear t-shirts when I come to the office. Luckily, I had an aloha. Like I had an LA. By the way, this is Evengi. Shout out to Evengi.
Yeah. By the way, I'm going to show you this photo that he wore when we went to go see the Prime Minister. It's going to pop up now.
Yeah, like that's how I dress. Like I just dress, wear shorts and t-shirt and jandals to work. But luckily on that day I was well dressed because I had to go for a meeting. So I sat down and it was just a matter of Ryan going 3, 2, 1. Whatever came out of my mouth, I just said it. Like I just laid it out over there, and I was nervous. I was nervous of announcing something. The tenses in the Samoan structure of talk was also something that I was not prepared for. But I've gotten better. If anything else, I felt like that push from Andy and To'o allowed me to learn more of the formal Samoan. I mean, I can talk everyday Samoan, but when it comes to the formal parts, I tend to run away from it. But then it was what Aseta said to me, because you keep running away, it's gonna catch up with you. And it caught up with me on that day. But yeah, no, it's been I've enjoyed being on the show, filling in for Aseta. Leo Pepe, Tala'i and I have created a segment, English segment for the sports, which is Super Rugby updates, and it's getting quite good numbers on TikTok as well.
That's awesome. So obviously, as a business owner, there's so many things that you have to think about, right? Whether it's pay, works, finding new work. You had a lot of focus on administration the last 2 weeks. You haven't even been in the office. We're like, where's Manu? Tell us about how that's been going for you.
Administration plays a big part in any business. When we started in 2019, we were small scale. But as the company grew, so did expenses, so did administration, so did clientele. And all of those things needed to be formally documented and needed to be formally recorded, whether it be money coming in, money going out. If you're tuning in or you're listening and you're a business owner or you want to get into business, it's really good that you either understand how accounting works or you have a good accountant who can help you understand how things work. My relationship with Inland Revenue Department is handled by Onyx. So they look after our books, they look after our salaries, they look after the taxes. Our job, my job, is to maintain that we have clients, that we have projects lined up so that we can keep that cash flow, keep that revenue going. So yes, it does get busy, and it's very important that you keep a lid on it. But trying to juggle it by, like, I sometimes find it hard to be on the show, on the sports terminal show, because like you have to be in that mindset. Like you can't just come from administration work, from meetings with the clients and accountants and lawyers and IRD, and then jump straight onto a show without being mentally prepared. Like that's the struggle that I have right now, and it's something that I need to work on to better myself, like so that I can not only answer to the program itself, but to the company.
Yeah, that's so true. Like when I have episodes or when my guests come, if they come for a morning, that whole morning I'm doing nothing because I have to prepare just to be in the spirit of the conversation. So it would be hard, being accountant one day, doing books the other day, and then washing the dishes and then coming back to host the show. You have to get back into the mindset. That's so true. It's a new thing to learn, I guess. To get better at.
I mean, it is our 5th year. We're learning things. We learned about the climb. We learned about the decline. We learned about the growth, the comeback. And it's like I said before, it's a day of, every day is a learning curve. And how you take it, how you respond to it, that's the most important thing. Because if I did a response to the financial crisis that through the economy and also to the business, we would have been closed right about now. You know, we would have been one of the stats of the closed businesses. But acting fast and getting on top of it was very vital. Because like, you know, I'm guilty of taking work home. Like when I wake up and my phone has the alarm, because like I program my phone to go off on an alarm, and when that alarm, you know, happens, so does the email chimes comes up, and you can hear the chime. So whatever email that I missed from whatever time I left off, you know, it's all there. And then probably 2 out of 10 of those emails, it's leads. 8 of those emails would be bills, would be overdue bills, would be, you know, something that has to do that needs to be taken care of. So what I do first thing in the morning is like not only wake up, but you know, give thanks to God that He's blessed us with another day, and take it step by step. You know, do what needs to happen first before you start replying back to these emails.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what I mean is like why I'm guilty of taking work home, because it doesn't end here for me. Like, you know, normal people would have a 9 to 5 and they finish at 5. Nope. Like I get home and my wife and my kids would be upset with me, because sometimes I'm sitting there, but it's just my body there, but my mind is in business.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm an entrepreneur through and through. That's who I am. And if I'm not thinking about the business, if I'm not thinking like that, you know, what am I doing? But at the same time, as a father and as a husband, I need to be present for them.
Yeah.
So it's a work in progress. A work in progress of being present for the family, but also knowing when to stop work. Because this phone, it's on silent now, but it keeps ringing. No. And I don't plan to do this forever. I want to retire by 70 or 60.
Yeah. And I mean, you know, you have such an amazing wife. She's an engineer traveling the world here and there. So you have 2 very powerful people in a family. How have you both worked to kind of like balance these things out, both being very busy?
She is the backbone of the family. She's, I don't know what I'll do without her, to be honest. You know, she's a super mom. Yeah, I'm not saying this because Mother's Day, Saturday.
It's your early prison.
But she is a super mom. I mean, you know, she can go to work, come back, clean the entire house, make food, and still have time to finish up her emails and the kids. As for me, I get home, I say hi, and then back on to work. And like, you know, she's amazing. Like she is, she's one of the most strongest workers that I've met.
Yeah.
Strongest beings that I've met. She's very strong-willed, and she's very committed. Like once she commits to helping someone, she will go all the way. I'm so blessed to have her in my life and have her as the mother of my children.
Just to wrap this one off, what's kind of like on your priority list for Bluwave?
First and foremost, business at hand is making sure that our daily works are completed and delivered, making sure that our week is completed as well. Other than that, we have the trip to America, and that starts in June. Our purpose in the States, and the purpose that we've been fundraising for this trip, is that we can go to get new partnership, to find new ways of making money so that we can sustain Bluwave as a company. So I'm looking forward to that, and that's a priority, making sure that we have our structures, our daily structures in America. We're not going for a holiday. Every day in America is a work day except for Saturday. I know that we won't get it 100%, but if we can bring it close to 100, making sure that everything is sorted, our visas, our participation in the certain events, and also our engagement and the delivery, the outcome that we're looking at. We have been contacted by Australia to come straight there. So probably we'll look at that as we come back from America, but right now we need to get America out of the way before we start thinking about traveling to another country.
Yeah.
Because it's Melbourne that's reached out, Sydney and Brisbane.
Crazy.
And Perth.
Yeah.
So we'll see if we have time, because we also have work here.
And our clients here, yes.
Yeah.
So we need to figure out a plan for that.
And, we'll probably know whether to take the entire team or take half the team.
Yeah.
I think it's really important that we have our presence in these countries. We could look at opening up Bluwave in both countries. But things work out well.
Well, I mean, a lot of our supporters are out there, so...
We have a lot of audience. I mean, if you look on our analytics for YouTube and Facebook, most of our supporters, they come from not only here, America, Australia, Hawaii.
That's Alaska.
Alaska. And there's a lot of Bluwave TV supporters and fans.
That's so awesome. Thank you so much for joining us today on our Breaking Waves podcast. Final question. Just some words of encouragement to any business owners who may be struggling right now.
It's not easy. Whoever said it was easy, I want you to find them and give them a high. No, it's not easy. My advice to those who want to build a business or want to run a business is that first and foremost, you need a really good plan. And it's not going to be easy, but you can start with a plan. Secondly, you need a really good administration strategy. And that administration, you need to include, from the top, accountants. Very important that you have a knowledge of how interactions and commerce works. Marketing. Without a marketing department, you can't sell. Very important. And if you do get bigger and when you do decide to hire people, look at their strengths. And then look at what they're capable of doing for the company in the long run. It's very important that you pick the right people for the right jobs. It's going to be a long road. It's going to be a bumpy road. Like nothing is ever straight. And there are going to be times where you're going to feel like giving up. That's entirely up to you. I mean, you can, but some people, they want to see it out. And, if you are that person, then all the best. My final advice is to go with God. He will work miracles that you can never know existed. We, as a company, we're still here because of him. There have been times that we should have been closed, but God always sends opportunities our ways. And have faith and have him.
Breaking Waves.
Home fades fast.